Imagine walking down the street on a beautiful afternoon. People pass by and smile at you. Some of them know your name. Then a woman stops, reaches out to touch your arm, and says warmly, "How did Chloe do on the exam?" You smile back. You nod. You say, "Oh, she did wonderful, thank you." But inside, panic is rising. You don't remember this woman. You don't remember anyone named Chloe. And as you look around at the street signs, the storefronts, the faces, you realize with a cold, sinking feeling that you're not even sure how you got here. For millions of families affected by Alzheimer's disease, that moment isn't just a bad dream. It becomes their reality. But what exactly is Alzheimer's disease? Why does it happen? What are the warning signs you and your loved one should be watching for? And most importantly, is there anything you can actually do to protect your brain as you age? In today's video, we're going to answer all of those questions. So stay with us, because what you learn here could genuinely make a difference for you or for someone you love. Let's start with the basics. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive brain disease, which means it develops gradually over time, and it gets worse as time goes on. It is the most common cause of dementia, accounting for the large majority of dementia cases in adults around the world. What does it actually do? Alzheimer's affects memory, thinking, reasoning, language, and eventually a person's ability to carry out the most basic daily tasks, things like getting dressed, preparing a meal, or recognizing a family member. Now, here's something very important to understand. Alzheimer's disease is not a normal part of aging. Yes, it becomes more common as we get older. But simply growing older does not cause Alzheimer's. Millions of people live well into their 80s and 90s with sharp, healthy minds. There is a real and meaningful difference between the normal forgetfulness that comes with age, like occasionally losing your keys or forgetting a name, and a disease that progressively damages the brain. We all have moments where we walk into a room and forget why we went there. That's normal. What is not normal is forgetting entire conversations you had yesterday, becoming confused about where you are, or not recognizing people you've known for decades. And here's something that may surprise you. The changes that lead to Alzheimer's disease often begin in the brain years, sometimes even decades, before any symptoms appear. Which is exactly why understanding this disease matters so much. So if Alzheimer's isn't simply old age, what is actually happening inside the brain? Your brain is an extraordinary organ. It contains roughly 86 billion nerve cells, constantly sending signals back and forth, controlling your thoughts, your memories, your emotions, your movements, every single moment of every day. Think of it like a city. A massive, busy city where millions of roads and communication lines are always active, messages traveling from one neighborhood to another in an instant. In Alzheimer's disease, that city starts to break down. Two harmful protein deposits begin to accumulate in the brain. The first are called amyloid plaques. These build up between brain cells, like debris clogging the roads between neighborhoods. The second are called tau tangles. These form inside brain cells, disrupting their internal structures. Together, these plaques and tangles interfere with the way brain cells communicate. Signals get blocked. Messages don't get through. Cells become damaged. And over time, those cells begin to die. As brain cells die, the brain itself begins to shrink. The areas most affected first are the regions responsible for memory and learning, which is why memory loss is so often one of the earliest signs of the disease. Imagine roads becoming blocked, communication lines going down, neighborhoods becoming isolated from the rest of the city. That's what's happening inside a brain affected by Alzheimer's. And as those changes spread, they begin to show up as recognizable symptoms. As these changes spread through the brain, certain warning signs begin to appear. Here are the signs that doctors and researchers want every family to know. Number 1, memory loss that disrupts daily life. This goes beyond the occasional forgotten name or misplaced item. We're talking about forgetting recently learned information, forgetting important events, and asking for the same information over and over again. Number 2, repeating questions or statements. If someone asks you the same question 3 times within the span of an hour and doesn't seem to remember that they already asked, that's a meaningful signal. Number 3, forgetting important dates or appointments. Not the minor, busy life kind of forgetting. This is forgetting a doctor's appointment they've been told about that morning, or losing track of what month or year it is. Number 4, difficulty planning or solving problems. Tasks that used to come naturally, managing bills, following a recipe, planning a trip, suddenly become confusing and overwhelming. Number 5, getting confused about time or place. Someone with early Alzheimer's may lose track of seasons, dates, and the passage of time. They may forget where they are or how they got there. Number 6, misplacing items and being unable to retrace steps. Everyone puts something down and forgets where it is. But a person with Alzheimer's may put objects in unusual places and then have no memory of doing so. Number 7, poor judgment and decision-making. This can show up as falling for scams, giving away large amounts of money, neglecting personal hygiene, or making choices that seem completely out of character. Number 8, changes in mood, personality, or behavior. Watch for increased anxiety, suspicion, depression, or unusual irritability, especially in situations that are slightly unfamiliar or challenging. Number 9, withdrawal from hobbies and social activities. When someone who used to love their book club or morning walks gradually stops participating, not because they're tired, but because they're confused or anxious, that matters. Now, it's important to distinguish. Forgetting a name occasionally and then remembering it later? That's normal aging. Forgetting your daughter-in-law's name entirely and not recovering it? That's worth discussing with a doctor. Many people assume these symptoms are caused entirely by age. But scientists have now identified several important risk factors, and some of them are within your control. There is no single cause of Alzheimer's disease. It develops from a complex combination of factors, some we can't change, and some we may be able to influence. The single greatest risk factor is age. The risk rises significantly after age 65, and continues to increase with each passing decade. Family history and genetics also play a role. If a parent or sibling has had Alzheimer's, your own risk is somewhat higher. Certain genetic variants, like a gene called ApoE4, are associated with increased risk. But having this gene does not mean you will develop Alzheimer's, and not having it does not guarantee you won't. Beyond genetics, research has identified a number of health and lifestyle factors that appear to raise risk. These include high blood pressure, especially in midlife, type 2 diabetes, obesity, smoking, physical inactivity, poor sleep quality, particularly sleep that is frequently disrupted, social isolation and loneliness, and untreated hearing loss, which has emerged as one of the more significant and underappreciated risk factors. Alzheimer's usually develops from a combination of factors working together over many years, not a single trigger. The encouraging news is that some of these risk factors can be addressed. And that leads us to perhaps the most important part of today's video. Here's the good news, and it really is good news. While there is currently no guaranteed way to prevent Alzheimer's disease, a growing body of research suggests that certain lifestyle choices may meaningfully reduce your risk. You have more influence over your brain health than you might think. Stay physically active. Regular exercise, even brisk walking for 30 minutes most days, improves blood flow to the brain and has been consistently linked to better cognitive health in older adults. It doesn't need to be intense. It just needs to be consistent. Keep your blood pressure in a healthy range. High blood pressure is one of the most treatable risk factors for cognitive decline. Work with your doctor to monitor and manage it. Eat a brain-healthy diet. Diets rich in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, fish, and healthy fats like the Mediterranean diet have shown promising associations with reduced dementia risk. Small, steady changes to what you eat can add up over time. Prioritize quality sleep. During sleep, your brain clears out waste products, including the amyloid proteins associated with Alzheimer's. 7 to 8 hours of restful sleep isn't a luxury. For your brain, it's maintenance. Stay mentally active. Reading, puzzles, learning a new skill, playing cards, taking a class, activities that genuinely challenge your mind appear to support cognitive resilience as you age. Remain socially connected. Loneliness and social isolation have been shown to significantly increase dementia risk. Meaningful time with friends, family, and your community is genuinely good for your brain. Manage chronic health conditions. Diabetes, obesity, and high cholesterol all affect brain health. Working with your healthcare provider to keep these conditions well managed is one of the most practical things you can do. Address hearing loss. If you've been told you have hearing loss and you've been putting off doing something about it, please reconsider. Research suggests that treating hearing loss may be one of the most impactful steps an older adult can take to protect cognitive health. None of these steps requires a dramatic life overhaul. Most of them are things that benefit your entire body, your heart, your sleep, your energy, your mood, not just your brain. Let's bring this together. Alzheimer's disease is a serious, progressive brain disease, not a normal or inevitable part of growing older. Recognizing the early warning signs matters, because early attention gives you and your family more options. And the healthy choices you make today, how you move, how you sleep, how you eat, how you connect with others, may genuinely help protect your brain for years to come. If you are concerned about memory changes in yourself or a loved one, please don't wait. Talk to your doctor. There is no shame in asking the question, and early evaluation can make a meaningful difference. The memories we build throughout our lives are among our most precious possessions. While researchers continue working toward better treatments and, one day, a cure, the steps we take today may help protect our brains and preserve those memories for years to come. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to Total Body Science so you never miss a new video. And if you know someone who could benefit from this information, a parent, a sibling, a friend, please share it with them. It could help someone recognize the warning signs early and take steps to protect their brain health. We'll see you in the next one.